Assalamu alaikum and good evening everyone. With the warmest welcome, we are going to start our today's episode of Weekend Adda with the Leaders, episode 8, presented by TAAN Group Bangladesh. As we all know that TAAN Group Bangladesh organizes Weekend Adda with the Leaders to spread positive attitude in the pandemic time. Every Friday, we come here with our guests, young leaders, and discuss with them some amazing topics and their lives. And here I am Bushra Morshed, Executive taanraat Group Bangladesh, one of your today's hosts.
And I am Nuzaimma Puffin, another executive member and the host of TAAN Group Bangladesh. We are welcoming you in the Weekend Adda with Leaders, episode 8, associated by TAAN Group Bangladesh. I hope we all know that TAAN Group Bangladesh is working to make a platform for the students where we can learn through earning. Earn through learning, and around 150 campus ambassadors from different parts of our country are connected with us, and they are working on 12 different paths to improve their skills. TAAN Group Bangladesh has already earned huge respect and faithful position in our young people's mind.
We are from the Facebook page of taanraat Group Bangladesh with some young kids who have told us their success stories at different stages. We talk to them, listen to their success stories. So join with us, and your relevant comments, questions, and opinions are highly appreciated.
Following that, today in the Weekend Adda with Leaders episode 8, we are here with a successful young leader. Let's introduce to our guest. Here we have a national award-winning public speaker, a trainer and a coach from Pakistan, Noman Abid. Sir, we are welcoming you on the screen of TAAN Group Bangladesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Naman sir is also maintaining his responsibilities as career coach and trainer. So, sir, how was your life going on in that pandemic time, or we can say COVID-19 situation?
First of all, thank you very much, Bushra and Nuzaimma, for having me on this wonderful show. And you're doing an amazing job for all the youth of Bangladesh, not only for Bangladesh, but outside your country. As far as my experience in COVID is concerned, I think it was challenging for all of us because it was something that we didn't predict. It was an unprecedented event that happened, and we were forced to push out of our limits and do things which we never thought of before COVID, like this StreamYard. Me sitting in Pakistan and interacting with the audience of Bangladesh. It was never, in our minds before COVID, but when COVID happened, we were pushed to be digitalized, especially for the speaking industry. It was affected the most because earlier we used to do physical workshops, we used to interact with people in person, but then we were confined in front of our screens in our homes, and we had to interact through this small camera on our laptops. So that was something new, but with change, there is a lot of learning too. We learned that in today's world, without being on social media, without using digital platforms, we cannot excel. So yeah, there was learning too, but obviously it was a little challenging in the beginning.
Thank you, sir.
So, we are here with the award-winning public speaker from Pakistan, Noman Abid, and we were talking about the boring time period of lockdown. So, as it is an interactive live session, our viewers can join us by sharing their experience in the lockdown in the comment section. And also, if you want to ask any question to our guest, please mention your name and write it down in the comment box. So now I want to know from our guest one thing, that what is your opinion about utilizing this boring time in the lockdown into a educative and a productive time? What do you think about it? How can we do that?
Well, there are a lot of ways, but it depends that which field you are in. So, for example, if you belong from a speaking industry and if I talk about myself, I thought from the very beginning that I'll have social media presence and I'll upload videos, but I never did that before. But now in COVID, when we had a lot of time sitting at home, so I started my YouTube channel. I started posting some videos, and I got a lot of good comments on that and very good feedback. So if you are at home, there is, don't waste this time. Believe me, when this will be over, when everything will be normalized, we will, look back and we'll say that, oh my God, I had so much time, and I will never get this time ever again in my life. Why didn't I use it productively? So, you can read a lot of books, you can be on social media, you can share your story, you can learn a new skill, because, this is the best time to learn new skills, especially related to digital and related to technology. You can, make yourself more valuable in this time.
Okay, thank you, sir. As Puffin said before, our viewers can also join with us by sharing their feelings in the comment section. So I go to our sir again. So if I want to know about your success, then how do you like to define the word success or being a successful person?
Well, Bushra, see, success is a very generic term. Everybody has different definition of success, and success is different in different segments of life. Probably there is a different success in relationship. There is different success in your finances. There is different success in your particular career that you are in. But if I look at or take it as a holistically, and I say what is success, I would say that it is the content that you feel when you serve others. That is the real success. How many people you can serve, how many people you can add value to. Because whatever you are doing, either you are in service business or you're in product business or you are doing a job with an organization, you're adding certain value. Just like both of you, what are you doing? You're adding value to people's life. So this gives you a lot of play, a lot of content. So that is, for me, in my opinion, is the symbol of success. And another thing which I always say is that if you want to know that either you're a successful person or not, you say to yourself that, are you ready to die? Because if you are ready to die, because in my religious belief, I believe that we are sent to this world with a purpose, right? And after this life is over, we are being asked that, Noman, I have given you a 60 years, a 20 years, a 25 years. What have you done on the planet? So if I am very confident to answer this question, I am a successful person. But if I am still, I haven't done something to be proud of, then probably I need to work on myself and be more successful in life.
Thank you, sir. That's a very wonderful explanation about success. I would like to ask you about your childhood memories, sir. And as we know that you are connected to various types of extracurricular activities, so there must be some enjoyable or some fun memories. If you share any of them with us, please, sir.
That is a very interesting question. Considering the co-curriculum activities in my school and my college, I always wish to stand on the podium and win those prizes first, second, third, but I never did. I was never the bright student in the class who would win prizes. Uh, but I have been into extracurricular activities more than the curriculum. I never uh, compromised on the educational activities, but I never taken it very seriously. I was never a nerd, so I don't have much good memories. But I would say that I was an average student in my childhood.
Okay.
And what about the doing the extracurricular activities like clubbing, public speaking? Is there any specific memory which you would like to share with us?
Oh yes. For the very first time, one of my class teachers, she came to me and said that we are going to have a play, Shakespeare's play, on our annual function. So she came to me and she said, "Naman, you have a really cute face. Why don't you become one of the lovers in the play?" So I played a role of a lover where I was holding a flower and I was singing a song of Titanic. Once I forgot the song. It was something like in my dreams or whatever. The title song of Titanic. So I was holding a rose and I was picking up each petal and I was singing that song. And another lady was taking circles around me. So That is the memory that I remember. It was the first time I faced audience.
It was the first stage performance, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's a great. Okay, so have you ever dreamed of becoming one of the best public speakers in your country, or the dream has changed after through the time?
Well, talking about dreams, I've always been a dreamer, and I always see big and scary dreams. And talking about public speaking, I recently became a national champion of public speaking. I always dreamt of becoming one, and I never thought that I'll be able to achieve it so early in my life, but I was lucky enough to do so. And now the dream has obviously changed. It has broadened, and now I want to become a world champion very soon, inshallah. So this is how it has changed.
Okay, so as we are talking about dream, I would like to ask you, sir, what is dream in your words, and what would you suggest our young generation to have a dream like? What do you think? What a dream should be? Something visually very much fascinating, at something big, charming, or it should be something related to reality?
Oh, all right. So if you ask me, Nuzaimma, that what was the worst advice I ever had in my life, I would say that be realistic. Never,
Okay.
to all my audience who are listening to me, never be realistic. Never set those teeny tiny goals for yourself. Never see those little realistic dreams. I would recommend all of you to see big, crazy, and horrifying dreams that even when you are dreaming about it, you're a little scared that, oh my God, will it even happen or not? Because, we have only one life. And if I talk about today's world, it is very easy to penetrate in the global market. See what I'm doing right now. Sitting in Pakistan and I'm interacting with the audience of Bangladesh. Isn't it a sign that it is so easy to have a international presence? So whatever industry you are in, whatever field you're in, always aspire to be best in that field and say to yourself that I'll be world class. Even if you become or not, that's another story. But at least you dream about it, because if your dreams are big, Nazaima, what happens is that your actions become more persistent. Because you never settle for less, because that dream is right in front of you and you're always working, always taking baby steps in order to reach there. So this is the beauty of life, and the beauty lies in the struggle, not attaining or achieving that goal. I still remember when I dreamt of becoming national champion, I said that one day I will hold that trophy and everything will be so fascinating and I will celebrate it. But the struggle was more beautiful than holding that trophy. The struggle when I was competing every contest, I was feeling those chills and butterflies in my stomach. That was more fun. So always see big dreams, never be realistic, and always aspire to achieve those.
Okay, it was so inspiring though. Sir, if we want to know, how do you like to spend your leisure time, or what's your hobby, or how do you manage your time for your family?
Right? These are a lot of questions. So first, if I talk about how do I spend my time, um, I am a very avid reader. I read a lot, and I would recommend everybody to read, because in my college time, I never liked reading, and I would look at those people who would read the books other than their curriculum, and I used to think that how fool they are, that they are reading a book which is not going to be you're not going to be evaluated on that, and still they're reading it. But it was after my FSC when I read one book named Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill that completely changed my perspective about reading books. Because when I read that book, I saw that Napoleon Hill spent more than 60 years into the research, and then he came up with a book. And I can read a 60-year of experience in research in only 1 month. I mean, I can learn from his experience. So books, they can help you. They can save decades of your time, and you can learn through other people's experience. So this is what I do. I always have one book in my car, in my bag, at my home. So I'm always reading. And other thing which I like to do in my spare time is writing. Now, writing another thing, it's one of the most important skill, because a lot of times, our brain gets rusty. We sometimes we forget to think. We become very less creative. But the more we write, the more we make our make our nervous system, or make our nervous connections habitual to think. So that's the second thing I do. Talking about the time management. I don't believe in time management, because you cannot manage time, right? We only have 24 hours. We cannot shorten it or expand to 25 hours. All we can do is we can set our priorities. What is my priority? And we can utilize that time according to our priorities. So if I have set my family at my priority, then definitely I'm going to find time. Definitely I'm going to take time for them. I'm going to take them for a picnic somewhere, or to go watch movies, or to take them for dinner. So it's all about priorities, and family definitely is one of my highest priorities.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. As we are talking about leisure time, and as our guest, sir, has already recommended to read books in our leisure time, and we also know that reading books is a wonderful way of passing your time, and that also changes your way of looking at things and your thinking. So, Tanrat Group Bangladesh has taken an initiative to encourage our youth for reading books more, and there is a segment called Book Review which comes every Saturday. So, hit the like button of Tanrat Group Bangladesh, and if you want, you can add this to your favorites list to get all the updates about it. And if you want to join as a book reviewer and offer yourself as a book reviewer, you can knock us in our official page. Thank you.
Thank you. And we see here there's a lots of people who are commenting us and see our show. So I would like to read out some comments from our comment section. And okay, the first one was from Ifkan. Thank you for your comment. After that, Rifat Asum Rastri, amazing program. Thank you. After that, Maisha Minmoy, too inspiring. Thank you. After that, MD Morshed Alam, excellent program. Thank you so much for watching our program. And this program is every Friday we host this program. There's another comment, Maria Sultana. I was waiting for this program. Now it is final start. That's really great and really amazing and appreciated comment. Thank you so much. Okay, there's another one, Saika Oishi. Keep going, this Nuzaimma. You are great. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. After that, we are going our next round. Okay. There's next round, Pasinapu.
So we're in the second part of our today's live session. Viewers, you are watching Weekend Adda with Leaders, episode 8, associated by Tanraat Group Bangladesh. And we have a young leader, a coach, a trainer, and the award-winning public speaker, Noman Abid from Pakistan with us. So I would like to ask you, sir, one question, that what are the beneficial sides public speaker usually face in in his or her personal and professional space? Do you think there is any extra advantage of becoming a public speaker?
All right. So, an amazing, very interesting question. That is there any benefit of becoming a great public speaker? A lot of people ask me that, Noman, I'm an engineer, or I am a doctor, or I am related to IT. Why do I need to learn public speaking? What is it for me in becoming a good public speaker? Now, see, I want to make you understand that public speaking is not about going on a stage and delivering a speech in front of a huge audience. It is about that you are able to express yourself. And if you're a great communicator, great public speaker, no matter what field you are in, it is going to give you a very good advantage over all the other people. Now, imagine there is a person who is very good with technology, very good with technical skills, And but the moment he utter the first word, boom, you don't want to talk to him anymore because he does not know how to communicate better. But there is another person, probably he's not very good with technical skills, probably he is not very well dressed even, but the moment he utters the first word, you go like, wow, now you want to talk more with that person because he has that amazing skills to engage the other person. So if you are a good public speaker, I think you will always get unfair advantage, or a fair advantage over other people. So if you are a technical person, if you are somebody related, not related to speaking industry directly, but it is definitely going to give you that confidence. And you, when you have confidence, Nuzaima, you shine different. Uh, you walk differently. You talk differently. There is this shine in your eyes because you're very comfortable in your skin. But on the other hand, if you're not a good communicator, if you're not a good public speaker, you will always be hiding somewhere at the corner. You will always be avoiding that attention. You will always be avoiding people. And imagine what a life it is where you have to hide from people, where you have to sit at the corner. So definitely there are a lot of advantages, and I would without a doubt say that even if you Google one of the most top needed skills in the marketplace, you'll definitely find public speaking somewhere at the top because it is one of the most needed skill at the workplace and even in life general. You become better at relationships, you become better at workplace, and you become better with your family. So a lot of perks.
So, do you think
Okay.
being extra concerned or passionate about public schemes somehow gives any negative impact in your regular life or regular activities or academics? How you used to manage it?
No, never ever. Again, I would say it all comes down to the priorities. If learning this is my priority, if I'm taking it for granted, okay, fine, I understand the importance of public speaking, but I think I don't need it right now. I need to sharpen my technical skills. So definitely, you're not going to give it that much time. But for me, from the very beginning, I thought that I will make this my profession. So even if a study was at the compromise side, I was never ever got worried because of that. I always gave a lot of time to public speaking. I joined clubs. I got certifications that was outside my the curriculum which I was studying. So again, comes down to the priority. If it is your priority, you will not think twice. You will give it the time that it deserves.
Okay, thank you. And now I turn to the most common question, which is asked to every public speaker, and everyone wants to hear from an expert. And that is, what's the secret, or what is the mandatory formulas in public speaking?
All right. So usually we run big workshops in order to answer this question of 2 days at least. But considering the constraint of time, I will give you one of the most important thing that is prerequisite to become a great public speaker. That has to be the if you want to become a good communicator, and that is confidence. If you are not a confident person, you cannot become a very good public speaker. Now, what is confidence? Confidence is your belief that I am able to perform any task. Now, I'm not talking about whether you are able to do it or not. I'm saying that your belief that I can perform any task no matter what. I can mesmerize any audience no matter what. I can rock any stage no matter what. I can uh, rock any interview no matter what. So you don't look at the difficulties. You only look at the positive side, and you look at enhancing your belief that I'm able to. Now, one of the prerequisite of becoming confident is that you should be very comfortable in your skin. Now, what do I mean by being comfortable in your skin? It means that we all have insecurities, right? Even the celebrities, the people who seemingly look very perfect, they have insecurities too. But a person who is very comfortable in his or skin is who embrace their insecurities and who say to himself or herself that, okay, fine, I do have insecurities. I do have flaws, but I'm human, and I don't deserve low self esteem just because of the insecurities that I have. So you embrace those insecurities and you come out as a confident person. You talk confidently, you look into the eyes of other people while communicating, you walk tall, you sit with an open body language. So this is the basic of becoming a good public speaker, that you got to be very comfortable in your skin, you got to be very, very confident.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. We are almost in the end of our show, so I would like to take some comments from our comment section. May I, sir?
Yeah, sure, please. I cannot
Thank
see any
you.
comments, I don't know why.
Yeah, they're in the right side there. There's a comment from Maria Sultana. How can I practice public speaking by myself? Question to Noman Abid, sir.
All right, wonderful question, Maria. That okay, fine. Public speaking is very important. Okay, fine. You got to be very confident. You got to do this and that. But where should I start? Now, I always say to this whenever somebody asks this question, and this is very common question. Now, human are blessed with an amazing skill or an amazing thing that we can visualize. Even if you're sitting in a room of your house, you can still visualize that there is a huge audience. You can visualize that I'm standing on a stage in front of thousands of people and you're delivering a talk. Even if I'm in my room, I can give interviews to big celebrities. I can visualize that. And brain cannot distinguish between visualization and reality. So if you keep on practicing when you are alone in your home, probably there are your family members think that you are gone crazy, but let them think that you keep on practicing, you keep on visualizing that there is an audience until you become equipped enough to go in front of the real audience. Now, when you are in front of the real audience, your brain will say, okay, fine, I already had visualized this in my room. It is not a big deal. So you are more well equipped when you are in front of the real audience. So what do? You sit on your room or stand in your room and you practice and practice and practice and think that there is a massive audience in front of you, and that is the only way where you can start as a public speaker. And then definitely go to community clubs, go to you might have Toastmasters in your country. You can join that club and you can face the real audience. And you got to allow yourself to go through the the uncomfortable phase of the beginning of the beginner. And you're not going to rock the stage in the very first time when you're going to appear in front of audience. Definitely you're going to face backlash, definitely you're going to face a lot of criticism, but you got to be courageous enough to face that criticism, to face that feedback, because that is the only way you're going to grow out of that uncomfortable experience. So grasp any opportunity you find in front of to speak in front of audience. First, practice in your room, and second, grasp any opportunity you find anywhere you can get your hands on.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is another question from Naushin Nawar Liza. If anyone forget anything to say in public speaking, how he or she can manage it?
All right. Again, very excellent question. Now, Noshin, always remember that nobody has gotten killed after he forgets something. So, one thing for sure, that even if you forget on the stage, you will come alive from the stage. So, you're not going to die. So, now, why do we forget? The reason we forget is that we memorize our speeches, we engage ourselves into the words. Now, have you ever forget when you're talking to a friend? It never happens, right? Because there you are very natural. You are very, very natural in your thought process and your communication. But when on stage, you have memorized the whole speech word by word. Now, whenever you forget one word, you go blank. oh my God, what was the next? What was the next paragraph? What was the next sentence? And then you panic, and because of panic, you cannot, you cannot find the word that is lost in your head because you are nervous. So one thing that you can try, which will help you not forget. When you will not remember, you will not forget. So never ever memorize your speech. Always have chunks of the content that you want to talk about in front of audience, and always remember the headings of the chunks that you want to talk about. But whatever you are going to say, it should be very natural. Obviously, you are going to practice it before going to the stage. You do a lot of practice, but don't engage yourself into the words. So that is my suggestion on this comment.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is a question from Samina Sabiha Ria. Is accent very important for speaking?
All right. So see, one thing that you should be very clear on is that accent or language is not a determining factor for your knowledge or for your wisdom or for you being very intellectual. So it is not a matrix to measure your intelligence. Always take it as a language. You can have whatever accent you have. The main thing or the main agenda should be that I need to communicate my message. It is just why language was discovered or was invented, because we had to communicate with each other. The basic purpose is communication. The basic purpose is to communicate your idea. Never get worried on the accent, or I don't know English, or my accent is bad, or whatever. Never have these kind of insecurities. You should be very confident that I have a very valuable message to share. When the message is powerful, you forget about the accent.
Thank you, sir. Another question from Naushinawar Lizapo. If anyone forget, sorry, not this one, from Rifa Tasfia Ratri, how can one can start public speaking from his own as profession?
All right. Again, when I started public speaking, I never knew that it is a profession. I never knew that you can actually earn money from speaking on the stage. But it is a very big subject to cover in such a short span of time. You can go to Google and you can find YouTube videos. There is a lot of content there to tell you that how you can take it as a profession. But before taking it as a profession, I would recommend you that work on your skill, work on yourself, sharpen your skill. Then definitely you will find a lot of opportunities. Because I believe when you are skillful, when you have the skill, even if you hide somewhere in the rocks, the universe will find you from there and will use your skill to make the world beneficial from your skill. So if you sharpen your skill enough, you will definitely going to find a lot of opportunities. But one thing that I want to share here is, before you do your research online, is that today it is very easy to position yourself as a public speaker, to enter into this profession. Why I'm saying this? Because the world has become a global village, and you can have maximum reach by just starting your video on your mobile phone. We all have mobile phones, right? You start a video and you share whatever valuable lesson or any message you want to communicate to your audience. First, understand that what kind of an audience you have on your social media platforms, and then create a message from your life. It should be very personal to you, and then start making videos, start making your YouTube channel. There are a lot of don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Instead, create your own opportunities through using this technology and devices that you already have.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We have another comment from Tasnim Jahan Sadia, a program worth watching. Good hosting, Bushra Morshed and Nuzaimma Puffin. Okay. We have a request from Maria Sultana, sir. I want to hear Pakistan language from you.
सो हमारी जो लैंग्वेज है पाकिस्तानी, वो उर्दू है. आई डोंट नो कि मारिया जो हैं वो पाकिस्तान से हैं या बांग्लादेश से बड़ा अच्छा होगा कि अगर आप कमेंट करके बता दें कि आप पाकिस्तानी हो या बांग्लादेश से हो. सो आई थिंक ये इनफ है. बाकियों को समझ नहीं आएगी, इसलिए आई थिंक आई शुड कन्वर्ट बैक टू इंग्लिश so that
No, we can
everybody
understand it.
understands. Oh wow,
Thank you, sir.
that's great.
Thank you so much,
That's
sir.
great.
Samina Sabiha Ria said, thank you so much, sir, for answering it. We have another question from Saika Wishi. How to prevent panic attack or stage fear during the presentation or stage performance? I'm sure it's a very common question comes to every presenter's mind. Please answer it, sir.
Yeah. All right. So, what is panic? What is, the science or the research says that after death, one of the most fearful thing is facing audience, is public speaking. So, what is fear? Let's understand what is fear. Now, fear is something that is illusion, that does not actually exist but exists in your mind. You yourself have created a monster called fear, right? And how you can battle that fear is by facing it face on. This is the only way you can vanish that illusion that is in your mind, by actually facing it. And believe me, when you face it, one time I was hearing the story from Will Smith. He was sharing his experience of jumping from the plane. Probably it's called paragliding or something. So he said, when I was on the helicopter and my instructor asked me to jump off the plane, I looked down and there was 1,000 feet of height. He said that I was scared to my bones, and I was thinking to myself that why did I even opted for this? Why do I have to do this? He said that I was regretting the time when I decided to take this opportunity to jump off the plane. But he said the moment I jumped off the plane, that was the most incredible feeling I have ever felt in my whole life. you know the lesson that we learn from this is the till the time you are standing far and seeing your fear, it will always terrify you. It will always haunt you. But the moment you go closer to that fear, the moment you jump into your fear, it vanishes. And believe me, when you actually face audience again and again and again, you will love this feeling. And if once you taste the feel of public speaking, I can bet on this that you don't want to leave the stage anymore, because it is one of the most amazing feelings. Just like Will Smith says, you're facing people and they're looking into your eyes, and you are sharing stories, and you're taking them on a roller coaster of emotions, and they're going with you wherever you are taking them. It's an amazing feeling. So my recommendation to you is that face your fear. Don't let it haunt you. It is nothing. It is just your illusion. It is just in your mind.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So, Maria Sultan Apu is saying she is from Bangladesh and she asked you that. Rifa
Thank you for
Tasfia
sharing.
Rafi Apu said that thank you so much, Noman sir. Samina Sabiha Ria, skydiving. How can they manage?
Skydiving.
Okay.
How they can manage. Yeah, skydiving it is. Will Smith.
Okay. So, I guess we are done with the comments. Let's
Okay,
wait.
there's a lots of questions, comments, and explanations too.
We have another
So
one question that there's Tanraat Group Bangladesh. They want to know about the must doing 5 things for the youths of this generation. Please go ahead, sir.
5 things. All right. So number one is be very confident. Believe in yourself. You have all that it takes to become a world class in whatever field you are in. So never ever doubt yourself. Never ever let anybody tell you that you're not capable of anything. So I'm here to tell you that you're capable of anything. Number one, be very confident, because confidence can open a lot of locks that a lot of other skills cannot open. Number second would be that be fearless. If you're in your 20s, believe me, that is the best time of your life. That is the best time of your life. And Believe me, when you'll be in your 60s or 70s or 80s or even hundreds, when you are near to death, you will trade your all wealth to get this back what you have right now. That is your youth. Because in youth, what happens is you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of passion, and be fearless in making mistakes. Your 20 to 30 time period is for you to do mistakes. Don't be very confined. Don't be very conservative in your choices. Do as many mistakes as you can. Be fearless. Don't let anybody bash you for the failures you will go through in life. Face as much failures as you can. This is the best time to do mistakes, because when you reach 30, you have a lot of responsibilities. You have kids, you have wife, you have family to manage. At that time, you become very conservative, and that made sense because there are other things at stake. But right now, if you are in your 20s, there is not much at stake. So do as many mistakes as you can. The fourth will be: number one, confidence; number second is fearless; number three is do mistakes; number four is learn technology. Whatever field you are in, if you don't have digital appearance, you are missing out a lot. So learn how to have your presence on social media. There are a lot of platforms: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube. Utilize all these platforms, because in today's world, the business is not only confined to the subsidies. You're selling subsidies, or you're selling service, and the people of your town know you. You should use social media to maximum benefit you, because this is the advantage that you can get in today's time. So learn how you can leverage your success using social media and digital tools that you have. Number five will be, what should I say? Public speaking, honestly, or communication. Be very good at public speaking. Uh, Now, again, public speaking is about how you express your thoughts, how you stand in front of two people to thousand peoples, and you can express yourself. You can share the complex ideas that are in your head, because in today's world, it is time of startups. A lot of people, they find problem, they give solution to that, and they start a startup. Facebook was a startup, Instagram was a startup, Amazon was a startup. So in order to attract a lot of funding for your startups, you will have to go in front of virtual capitalists. You will have to go in front of investors, and in order to convince them to invest in your startup, you got to have very, very strong public speaking skills, and plus selling techniques. You should know how to sell yourself. So these are the probably five or six things that you got to polish in your 20s.
Okay, all of them are really, really helpful to us. Sir, I am being requested to ask you one question, that can you speak in Bangla? I am getting lots of requests.
I'm really sorry, but if you teach me how to, then I can learn that. But for now, I cannot. I'm sorry. I wish,
Okay,
but I
it's
cannot.
fine. It's fine, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for having us, for giving us time. It was a great session with us, sir. We are in the end of our session. So, would you like to say something to our audience?
Okay, before that, I have a question to sir.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
it was a very interesting question, and we try to ask it to our all invited guests, and that is, sir, suppose your life is written by pencil, and if an eraser gives you to erase or clean any part of your life, so what would be that one?
Um, that will be nothing. I don't want to erase anything from my life. Even the times when probably I made bad decisions, probably I face any failure. I believe that whatever I am today, it is because of the lessons that I've learned in those difficult times. So I would never want to erase those, because they have taught me a lot. So I will give the eraser back to the person who has given me, and will not erase anything.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, sir. I would like to take one last question from my elder sister. She asked, how do you manage the audiences in front or online or overcome the fear of camera? A very important question, sir.
All right, yeah. When I had to transit from in person to on camera, it was very difficult because first I was always confused that should I see the camera here or should I look at the audience? Because when you look at the audience the way I'm looking right now, it seems that the person is not looking, giving any eye contact. But if I look into the camera, which I am right now, it gives a sense to the audience that this person is looking right into our eyes, and it builds a connection. So it was very difficult in first at first that seeing little this little circle and communicating to audience. But gradually, the more you face it, the more you get comfortable. One of the skills that I've found on somewhere on social media was that you imagine that there is one person in the camera who's very close to you, probably your mother or your friend. Imagine that person who's looking, who is actually the camera. So he's looking right into your eyes, and you're looking right into his or her eyes, and you're communicating. It will eradicate this sense that I'm only looking to the a circle on my laptop and I'm communicating. So this helped me a lot. Probably this will help you too. But there should not be any fear. I already told you. You should be fearless. What is there to fear? I mean, you have only gotten one life, and imagine you spend your life in fear. How sad is that? So one thing that I would recommend, as you already said to me, that what is one thing you would like to share at the end, that would be that be fearless. Do not fear anything. There is nothing to be feared of. You should always give your best and live up to the fullest potential that you have. If you are fearful, you will never ever reach to the highest potential that is residing somewhere inside you. You will never discover that. But the day you will become fearless, you will discover the parts of you which you cannot imagine. So that is my final lesson which I want to share.
Okay, sir. Any last word before finishing our show today?
I would request you to please teach me how to say bye bye in Bangladeshi.
You can say Allah Hafiz. Though it's
Yeah,
not
Allah.
Bangla,
it,
it's
it was
No,
a
it's
Arabic,
common.
Arabic.
Arabic, but
It's
you can
Arabic.
Yeah.
say it. Allah Hafiz.
Uh, any
Ab-
any other word you use to say goodbye?
you can, as we are going through a very bad situation because of COVID, so you can say the Bangla of stay safe or something. Bhalo thakun. You can say that.
ভালো
It means
Hello
থাকুন,
stay
ভালো
well.
Teko.
থাকুন।
Bhalo
Hello
thakun.
Teko.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
Teko.
so
much.
Thank
much,
you very
sir.
much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
So all the audiences who has been enjoying with us the show and staying and commenting, we had lots of comments today. Thank you so much for that. In the next Adda, we will have another guest, another young leader, and with some another story. So till then, still safe, stay safe, and do all the precautions to keep you and your family safe. Thank you, Bushra. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank